Welcome back to Roll for the Galaxy. We are the blue player taking on the red player, and we've got a lot of dice in our cup for the start of turn 3. So we're just going to shake them up, and we're going to roll them, and we're going to allocate them. Well, we even have one stacking. All right, so our special abilities are we can allocate any 2 white home dice to become explorers and or settlers. So we can just make those settlers if we want, and I think maybe we're going to do that. Yeah, let's go ahead. We're going to settle and move this up a little bit. We're going to make sure we settle this world this time. So we're going to allocate these 2. We're going to make them settlers. And now we have no search. Well, we have one search with entrepreneur. So we'll put that there in case the search happens. We have a yellow die. What do I want to do with yellow? We have a wild card. Maybe I will only allocate 1 to that. We will put that one there. And I wonder if we should get some thing out on one of our planets so that we can do that. So I'm going to use this die to turn this one. I don't need to turn it into produce because it already is a produce. So it's a produce. And what do I want to do? Well, we can't really... Well, we could produce twice because if we put this one here, we're going to definitely settle this world. But it already comes out with a... It already comes out... Let me rethink this. Let's do try a ship action. We're going to make this die turn into a ship action from this one. All right, I think we have our dice all set up. Of course, the more dice you have, the more options you have. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make sure we settle this planet, which we're going to do. We're making sure that happens. If we get a couple of searches, that's good. If we don't, those go back in the cup. And then if we can ship with this world out there, it's going to have a brown die on it anyway. We're going to be able to ship. And I just thought of something that would make more sense, or would it? Oh, I don't know. I think, actually, yeah, I'm going to turn this one into a settle die, and I'm going to leave the wild captain card on the ship. All right, I think I've got this figured out. So we're going to go over, we're going to roll the dummy die, and we're going to let the red player roll up all his massive dice, and we're going to see what's going to happen for this turn. All right, so we're going to roll the dice for the dummy player, and we have produce. Okay, that's actually no good for us because we didn't choose produce. Anyway, produce, we know what we're doing. We are definitely settling this time. So that is going to happen. Now we're going to go over to the red player and we're going to see what they chose and see what's going to happen there. All right, so the red player has allocated his dice. He is definitely settling. So we know this time all we're going to have is settling and producing. So there's going to be no exploring. He tried to get his $4 with his yellow. Not going to happen. There's going to be no shipping. And this is also of no use to anyone. So he has 3 dice here for settling, and that's it. So we're going to go over to our area, and we are going to do all of our actions, and we're going to come back here and do the red players. All right, so starting with Explorer, there isn't any. Those go back in the cup. There's no shipping, so these 2 back in the cup. All we're doing is we are going to be settling. So this one has the $sign on it. So we're going to put it on here for now. So all 3 of these are going to become settlers. And they would all go back here. But this one, because it has the $sign, is back in the cup. So that's pretty good for us. And we now have settled the Comet Zone. And it says gain a rare element's brown good on this world when you place it. So out it goes. So now we have 6 places, and it gets a brown good on it. So that's pretty awesome. So when we can ship it now, we may be able to cash in for either victory points or get money. So very quickly, when you use a ship action, you're going to ship a good from a world. And I'll just show you that. You can either trade, and if you trade, the color of the world is going to give you so many dollars. So if I do a shipping action and I trade that brown good, I could get $4 for it. If you trade a green one, you get 5. A blue one, or a yellow, you get 6, and blue, you get 3. The other thing you can do, of course, is you can get victory points for them. You get 1 victory point if you want for whatever you ship. If the color of the die that matches the planet color, you'd get 2 victory points. If all 3 dice, the shipping dice, the die on the planet, the good on the planet, and the planet color all match, you could get 3 victory points. So that's an option. You can either trade for money, or you can cash them in, consume them is what they're called, for victory points. All right, let's go over to the red player and let them do their turn. All right, so the red player opted to do exactly the same thing we did. So this is going to go on here, and this will be the 4th one going on here. So this is going to be settled, but because this was the $ captain, goes back in his bucket. These 3 go back to his citizenry. This gets to be settled. And what is this? This is the deserted alien outpost. It says gain an alien technology yellow good on this world when you place it. All right, so when it gets placed, it gets a yellow alien technology die on it. So it has an alien good on it now. And we're going down in their stack, and they did this on purpose, obviously. They have 1 more settle action. Boom. This is only a 1 world. It is going to be settled right now. So that's done. So we're going to take a look at that. And it is the 5th column. And it says, gain a military red die into your cup when you place this world. So now he has 6 worlds out as well, and he gets a military die, which is a red one. We haven't seen these yet. They have mostly settle and explore, or settle and development on them, into his cup. So his cup's now finished. All right, so we're going to go back to us, and we're going to do the manage the empire phase. And then we're going to come over here, do manage empire, and then we'll go right into turn 4. All right, so for our manage the empire, all we have here is $1, so we're just going to spend it. It'll refresh back to 1. And I think I'm going to take a white one because it has 2 chances to do the explore action, and we have nothing to develop or settle anymore. So we're really looking forward to exploring. Of course, we're going to refresh these tokens from over here for the start of turn 4. So let's go back to the red player, and he's going to do his manage empire actions. All right, so he actually has $2 here because he saved some from last time. He is going to spend the $2, 1, 2, and it'll refresh back to 1. So he's going to take 2 of the white dice from citizenry, throw it in his cup, and of course, you can also pull dice off of anything you're developing or any of your planets. So he could, if he wants to, grab this yellow die, throw it in his cup, but he's not going to. Okay, that is going to be the end of turn 3. And so let's continue on with turn 4. We're going to start with us again. We're going to roll our dice, and we're going to see what we can do for turn 4. All right, we have quite a few dice in the cup here. We've got 2 whites, 2 entrepreneur orange, our captain, and a yellow. So let's go ahead. Of course, we have nothing to develop, so we're going to have to see what we can do here. And what do we want to do? Well, I don't know. We definitely want this explorer, and this is an explorer with a $, so our captain would go back in. We have nothing. This is another explorer symbol. It has explore and develop, so we can put that there. We could explore 4 times. Why don't we go ahead? We're going to make sure explore happens, so that's definitely going to happen. And then we can say, oh boy, what do we want to say? Instead of that, I think I'm going to use the yellow for the explorer. I'm going to use the white die to change my $, captain into a ship symbol. And of course we can turn the white, 2 of the whites into either explore or settle if we want for our special ability, but I think I'm okay with this. We're going to get these 2 dice back no matter what happens. We're definitely exploring. We're exploring 4 times, so we're really going to be pumping up our empire, at least looking for developments and looking for some worlds to settle. All right, that is us. Let's go over to the dummy player and see what he's going to roll and see what happens over there. All right, so the dummy player rolls, well, producing. So if anyone chose producing, it's going to happen this turn. Let's go to the red player and see what they did. All right, so we're looking at the red player, and they've done pretty much the same thing we did, except they have a couple under develop and 1 under ship. We know that the produce happened over, and I also forgot to flip the explore tile, which I'll just go ahead and do off camera. So basically the 2 phases that are going to be happening this turn only are going to be exploring and developing. So let's go back to us, blue player, and do those 2 phases if we can. All right, so here we are. We have a ton of explore. Of course, shipping not happening. These 2 back in the cup. So we get to explore 4 times. And so with the 1 die, I'm actually going to take $2. With the other die here, I'm going to take $2. So we're up to $5. Now I'm going to actually reach in the bag with one of these. And I'm going to pull out a token, and we're going to see what we get for turn 4. So we have either export duty. So every time you ship, you get $1 for each good you trade. So if you trade, you get $1. If you have the export duties and the ship action happens, it doesn't mean you have to do the ship action. It just means that phase takes place on a turn if this is out in your galaxy. Or we have Silicon World, and this says gain $1 and a rare elements brown good on this world when you place it. I kind of like that. It gives me an extra die, and it gives you a brown matching die for the world, so we might be able to make some victory points off of that. Or we can cash it in for $4 if we trade it. So I think we're going to take that one. Now we still have a die left. We could go $2 more for a stocking action, or we can dig in the bag and look for another token. So I think we're going to go in the bag. Maybe we'll get a nice development here. We're going to get got to get something out here. So we have for Colony World, we have sentient robots. It says gain a military red die into your cup when you place this world. Well, that gives us a die in our cup immediately. More options. Or we have Free Trade Association. It's 6. Wow. And ship $2 at the end of this phase. So if we ship, we get $2. That is pretty awesome. And it's a multiplier at the end of the game. It says add half of your total novelty world costs rounded up. Well, we don't have any novelty worlds at all, but this is a 6-pointer. I wonder if we should bother with this and then start looking for novelty worlds later in the game, or just go with the sure thing, sentient robots getting a red die in our cup. I think we're going to try multiplier, and worth 6 points as well. Okay, that's us finished doing all of our actions, and now we're going to go over to the red and do their actions. All right, so the red player has a ton of stuff. Gee, they have a yellow die here that they're using to explore, and of course their special ability, they get $4 if they use it for stocking instead of 2. Well, they're going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to take their captain, which has the dollar sign, to explore. They're going to take $2 more. And now they are going to do reaching into the bag, and they're going to do it twice. They're going to put the 2 dice there. They're going to go ahead and take out 2 tokens, and they're going to have a look at them, and then they're going to place them down. All right, so I think they are going to, they are heavy into the settling. They're going to take these, they're going to put them underneath, so of course nobody knows what they are. And of course developing, not happening this turn, goes back in the cup, and neither is shipping happening. So they're basically finished. Dice back in the cup. They have $7 to spend. We have 5, so let's go over to our area and do the Manage Empire end phase. All right, well, we have $5 to spend, and yeah, 1, 2, 3. We're going to spend it all bouncing back to 1. So we're going to take the 2 Entrepreneur, our alien die. Let's take the blue one and one of the white ones. So that's 5 dice, adding to our 2 that were already in the cup. We're set up pretty good for the next turn. So have a couple die on our citizenry. Over to the red player to do the same thing. Oh, and of course we're going to flip over all of these tokens in this phase as well. Getting ready for the next turn, which will be the next episode. So let's go over to the red player, finish up his Manage Empire phase, and then that will be the end of the episode. All right, so for managing his empire, he has $7. He has 5 dice. He's going to spend 5, bringing himself back down to 2. He's going to take all of his dice, throw them in the cup. He has a ton of dice now, and that is going to be the end of turn 4. Now I think I'm going to leave the video off here. And next video, we will be doing turns 5 and 6. So I hope you're enjoying it. You can see it does go pretty quickly once you know how to play the game. The turns are somewhat simultaneous when you're playing with a bunch of other people. So it's not like there's a lot of downtime in the game. And of course, you can make mistakes and people can cheat if they want to, but that's kind of lame, so don't do it. It's actually a pretty neat game. So here we go, end of turn 4. Join me next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll continue on with Roll for the Galaxy.